An instructive story about shame, about not taking other people's things, and about the punishment that follows misdeeds. Read the story about Lilia and Minka, who ate candy from the New Year's tree and opened presents. This year, guys, I turned 40, so that means I've seen a New Year's tree 40 times. That's a lot. Well, for the first 3 years of my life, I probably didn't even understand what a Christmas tree was. My mother carried me out in her arms, rather affectedly, and I probably stared at the decorated tree with my little black eyes, disinterested. And when I, children, turned 5 years old, I already understood perfectly well what a Christmas tree was. And I eagerly awaited this joyful holiday. I even peeked through the crack in the door as my mother decorated the Christmas tree. The Christmas Tree, a story by Zoshchenko. My little sister, Lelia, was 7 years old at the time, and she was an exceptionally lively girl. She once told me, "Minka, Mom's gone to the kitchen. Let's go to the room where the Christmas tree is and see what's going on there." So my sister Lelia and I walked into the room, and we saw a very beautiful Christmas tree, and under it were presents, and on the tree were colorful beads, flags, lanterns, golden nuts, pastilles, and Crimean apples. My little sister Lelia says, "Let's not look at the presents. Instead, let's eat one of our pastilles." And so she comes up to the tree and instantly eats one lozenge hanging on a string. I speak, "Lelia, if you ate a lozenge, then I'll eat something now too." And I go up to the tree and bite off a small piece of apple. Zoshchenko's Christmas tree. Lelia says, "Minka, if you took a bite of the apple, then I'll eat another lozenge and also take this candy for myself." And Lelia was a very tall, lanky girl, and she could reach high. She stood on tiptoe and began to eat the second lozenge with her big mouth. And I was surprisingly short, and I could hardly reach anything except one apple which hung low. I speak, "If you, Lelishcha, ate the second pastille, then I will bite into this apple again." And again I take this apple in my hands, and again I bite it off a little. Lelia says, "If you've bitten into the apple a second time, then I won't stand on ceremony any longer and will now eat a third lozenge and, to boot, I'll take a firecracker and a nut as a souvenir." Then I almost cried because she could reach everything and I couldn't. I tell her, "And I, Lelishcha, will move a chair to the tree and get myself something other than an apple." And so I started to pull a chair toward the tree with my skinny little arms, but the chair fell on me. I tried to pick it up, but it fell again, and right on the presents. Lelia says, "Minka, I think you broke the doll, that's right. You broke the doll's porcelain arm." Then we heard Mom's footsteps, and Lelia and I ran into another room. Lelia says, "Now, Minka, I can't guarantee that your mother won't beat you up." I wanted to burst into tears, but at that moment guests arrived. Lots of children with their parents. And then our mother lit all the candles on the tree, opened the door and said, "Everyone come in." And all the children entered the room where the Christmas tree stood. Our mother says, "Now let each child come to me, and I will give each one a toy and a treat." And so the children began to approach our mother, and she gave each one a toy. Then she took an apple, a marshmallow, and a candy from the tree and gave them to the child as well. And all the children were very happy. Then Mom took the apple I had bitten into her hands and said, "Lelia and Minka, come here. Which of you two took a bite of this apple?" Lilia said, "This is Minka's work." I pulled Lelia's pigtail and said, "Yolka taught me this." Mom says, "I'll put Lilia in the corner with her nose in it, and I wanted to give you a wind-up train. But now I'll give that wind-up train to the boy I wanted to give the bitten apple to." And she took the train and gave it to a 4-year-old boy, and he immediately began playing with it. And I got angry at this boy and hit him on the hand with a toy. And he cried so desperately that his own mother picked him up and said, "From now on, I will not come to visit you with my boy." And I said, "You can leave, and then the little train will remain for me." And that mother was surprised by my words and said, "Your boy will probably be a robber." The Christmas tree story. And then my mother took me in her arms and said to that mother, "Don't you dare talk about my boy like that. You'd better leave with your scrofulous child and never come back to us again." And that mother said, "I'll do just that. Hanging out with you is like sitting in nettles." And then another, third mother said, "And I'll leave too. My girl didn't deserve to be given a doll with a broken arm." And my little sister Lelia screamed, "You can go too, with your scrofulous child, and then the doll with the broken arm will be mine." And then, sitting in my mother's arms, I screamed, "In general, you can all leave, and then all the toys will remain ours." And then all the guests began to leave. And our mother was surprised that we were left alone. But suddenly, our dad entered the room. He said, "This kind of upbringing is ruining my children. I don't want them to fight, squabble, and throw out guests. It will be hard for them to live in this world, and they will die alone." And Dad went up to the tree and blew out all the candles. Then he said, "Go to bed immediately, and tomorrow I'll give all the toys to the guests." And now, guys, 35 years have passed since then, and I still remember that tree well. And in all these 35 years, children, I have never eaten another person's apple or hit anyone weaker than me. And now the doctors say that's why I'm so comparatively cheerful and good-natured.